Hello, everyone. I'm going to be doing a call with our vice president of the nonprofit today, and just thought I'd post that up here so you could see just what one of our talks looks like, and maybe you can learn a little bit about business as we're doing that. So I'm going to wait on his call and get a few other things ready. At the same time, I will probably be working on some RFPs today and some different business operations. And I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on for the live stream to do that, but we'll try to record as much as we can. It's a fine balance between sharing information that is useful for people to learn and also maintaining our privacy so that legally we are protected in what we're doing as a business. So I'll see what I can share with you guys. Hello there.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. Man, you're super quiet.
I'm super quiet. Yeah, I'm in the office right now.
Are you trying to hide so nobody can hear you?
Oh, no, I'll speak a bit loudly. Is it better now?
Let me see.
Maybe it's the
Oh no,
headset or
it,
something.
it was on my end.
Oh, okay.
I got it. You're loud and clear now.
Cool.
So,
So, yeah,
chaos in the
we,
jungle,
we,
huh?
yeah, chaos in the jungle. So, are we live streaming right now?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we should be on.
Okay.
Yep, we're on.
So, pardon?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, great. So yeah, I wanted to talk about DevOps, and I've been implementing a lot of DevOps philosophy in the business. So, but I'm confused with few things, and I thought it would be great if I discuss them with you.
Okay.
So, first thing is we are using DevOps boards. Okay, so
Are
we are
you
not
are you talking
actually
about Azure?
your DevOps.
Okay.
Yeah, DevOps in general, implementing the whole philosophy, but right now I'm talking about your DevOps.
Okay.
Okay, so we are using boards and repos mostly. We are not benefiting from pipelines, test plans, or artifacts, but I hope that gradually we'll start using the rest of them too. But the company is not yet that open to using the rest of the services. Even they're building their wiki knowledge base, and they are trying to use some other services instead of using your DevOps because they're not that open-minded to Microsoft services yet.
Okay.
So I
That's
had
pretty normal actually. You want to have
okay,
different stages with a company, and the main thing that they're going to see useful for them, it's going to be the repo. They're going to be like, well, that repo and having it over there for everybody. The boards in the repo are the main meat for a typical program. And then you can go in later and show them, like, listen, guys, when we use that pipeline, um, it just streamlines things to where we don't have to, you know, upload it to you, then you upload it to the server. It's all automated. But that is a chunk of money they're going to have to contribute, so they might not want to do that up front. Very normal.
right, but they're all already using cheap test servers, so maybe they'll need to switch in the near future. because that's not the right solution. And using the pipelines is the solution. It allows us to build, yeah, the continuous integration and continuous development. So, but that's long. That I think that will be long term.
Right. Well, that's exciting. It's
So,
exciting that you're working on all that stuff.
yeah, it's exciting, definitely. So, I would like to share my screen and show you a few things if
Okay.
it's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're just getting time working in this language. I mean, you telling me the name CDCI, CICD.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
just not normal.
Right. Right.
So that's
I
awesome.
was thinking the same. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. So they have shared these projects with me, and basically I'm working in this version 2.
Man, you got your internet banking up on live stream. You got your motivational quotes about it's better to be a pirate.
Oh, man.
How do you close it out like
It's
that?
just
You double click on it?
uh, no, it's you click the scroll wheel.
Oh,
It's
okay.
by
Yeah, you
default in
you
every
taught
month.
you taught me that before. I don't like that way
Yeah,
though.
I don't. Yeah, and even if you click on the links with the scroll wheel, it opens in a new tab.
Oh, I use the control button on my
Yeah,
keyboard.
I know I learned these features almost when I told you, but now I use them a lot.
Huh.
Anyways, so okay, so these are here I'll go to the boards and let's go to the backlogs. Come on, backlogs. Can you
You
hear
got
the honking?
yeah, you got some angry people over there.
Yeah. So, okay, these are the main epics, and then we are using uh, epics features, and if you go in features, then product backlog items,
Dude, that
and
looks
then the
sweet.
tasks.
You're using these
That looks good.
yeah, you're using the program really well.
Yeah, it's good. And now I'm creating an Excel sheet that will communicate with the DevOps. They have a plugin for that,
I
and
was going to
that'll help
say
me even manage it.
you shouldn't have to do that yourself. They already have that built in. So you're
Yeah,
using their export tool to sync that together,
r-
right?
right.
Okay.
So right now I'm not doing that, but I plan on doing that.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
this looks great.
so yeah, so this is what I'm currently doing with DevOps, but the problem that I'm facing is like not the problem. Actually, I want suggestions. Is that I want to create more beautiful dashboards for the managers and for the employees. So, for example, I want to use graphs like these and create queries. So I wanted a few suggestions on that. So I can run queries and create these beautiful graphs for the managers and for the employees. So that help them evaluate what they are doing better. Help them evaluate better. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have any mind maps put together? Have you been
Not
using
yet. If you
Visio or any kind of
no, it's just I draw sometimes on paper and then just waste the paper. If you would like to do that, I'm open.
I don't want to do it today, but I would
Okay.
like for every company you work with as a solution architect, that actually is
Right.
your main job, just that mind map.
Makes
And
sense. Yeah.
they're going to come to you for that mind map. Now, implementing the mind map is a complete different role. That's not the solution architecture anymore. Um, I mean, you're a manager role on what you're doing here. You're acting as the manager. But I'd rather
Right.
you do the solution architect role and put the whole huge mind map together and then show that to them and say this mind map. And you want MVP 1, MVP 2, MVP 3. So on the first version, you say all we're doing is implementing the boards and the repos. That's it. But then you
Right.
show another mind map that's an extension of that that shows some new features put into it. Now, this can be very cookie cutter because the client that you're working with right now, it's going to be the same with almost everybody you work with. They're not.
Almost, yeah, just a little modifications.
Yeah. So after we get that mind map put together, it'll be easy. So the reason I'm asking about the mind map, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about the client, or actually about your own solution architecture workflow. And
Right.
that's going to determine what kind of apps, plugins, and all that we can put in. For example, on your repo, when it goes from your repo to the next place, like, how does that work? Is it connected over to GitHub, GitLab? Do they have their own Git server? What's going on with that?
What's going on with that is that they do have their own Git server, and but we are not deploying the code directly on the main server. It's
So I'm pretty much
another
asking, how
another
does it
dev.
transfer? What's your bridge?
These are the repos we are using that are this is a staging site, and then we are using
Just
then
package it up?
the other, yeah, package it up and
You
load
package it
it.
up, zip it to them?
No, they do it. We just make the updates in the repos.
But I'm asking how? How do they get this? Because they have a manager that can see this as well, and he zips it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that sucks. Whenever they do it that
That
way,
definitely sucks.
that slows down our ability to give you better metrics on what's going on. So I would suggest two things for your metrics. Are you using MS Teams very much?
For to communicate to communicate with the employees.
Yes.
No, we are not. Unfortunately, we are using Skype.
Okay, so you're using Skype. I'm going to say to use a Power BI dashboard. You know, Azure DevOps has its own dashboard built into it, but it's just not as awesome as the Power BI dashboard. And you can take all the data that you have inside of here and you can funnel it over into Power BI. So how about we look at one of the Power BI dashboards to see if it's going to be close to what you're looking for.
Okay, sure.
So look for Azure Repo Power BI, and you'll get a basic understanding that way.
Connect Power BI Connect.
Open them all up, huh?
Yeah.
So out of the box, you might not be very impressed with what they offer, but this is an area. Yeah, so you essentially use that get data area and see how it has this service on here. You hit the get data button and then scroll down a little bit, and it
Get
asks
data.
where do you
Okay.
want to get your data from. So you say you get your data from Azure DevOps, and after you get your data from Azure DevOps, it's going to ask, you know, which repo
Oh
or
my.
which project in there. So scroll down a little bit more, and then so yeah, you have to give it the exact parameters used inside DevOps,
Right.
and
And
then
then
you
it
have,
will require authorization.
yep, and then you authorize it. And after you authorize that, it gives you all of these tools here. Look at all those shared views. It gives you the bug views, the story
Right.
views, task views, work views, and then you can drag all of those out onto a dashboard. A dashboard. So that's way better
So
than what you're doing in Azure dashboards, right?
right, that's definitely way better. But they are not paying for the Power BI services. Can I use the TLI Power BI services to just show them the data?
Yes. Yes and no. So Power BI is
Okay.
pretty expensive. Um,
Right.
like it can get crazy expensive. And what I would rather do is have you be a solution architecture within us, and we just give you Power BI access so you have multiple clients. So you can go into your Power BI and you just have multiple dashboards in there. And then you can authorize specific people to see each dashboard. So as you work on this whole dashboard, you'll have your own template that you build, and you know, it might take you some time for one client, but after you get that all done, now you have a beautiful dashboard that works for any Azure repo client.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that's okay. One last question, then it comes to this Power BI thing. So I have a manager access here, but to authorize it to connect it with Power BI, I'll need to contact the main manager.
I don't. No,
So
you won't. I disagree.
okay then. Okay,
Anything that
that
you
would be good.
see here, it gives you access to in your Power BI.
Okay, all right,
And
that makes things
if you
easy.
want to drill down deeper, then yeah, you can get their admin. But I don't think you need admin. You mainly just need to see, are these people finishing their tasks? How often are they sending commits? Um, I think you're going to have a lot of information to put on there. Now, at the same time, they are trying to mimic on the dashboards right here inside of Azure DevOps. They're trying to mimic the capabilities of Power BI over here, so that you don't have to do that bridge. But they are very far away from making that happen.
Right. Yeah, because I can definitely run queries and create graphs, but I'm sure that's nowhere close to Power BI.
Yeah, if you use them in combination, I mean, Azure DevOps is very programmer friendly. If you're running scripts and you want things to have actual code that's connecting different resources, DevOps is your only way to do that. But then if you just want to aggregate the data and put it in beautiful visualizations to give back, to look at it on a bigger big data picture, that's Power BI. Don't use the cheap, retarded DevOps dashboard. It just
Okay.
won't do justice to what Power BI can do.
Right. Definitely will use Power BI now.
So you open those links up, but do you want to dive in deeper with Power BI, or do you want to discuss other issues?
No, I would like to dive in deeper with Power BI. So
Okay.
that's all.
Man, get
That's all
off your
from.
email.
Oh yeah.
S-
Okay. All right. All apps. Power BI. Here we
So when I
go.
said Power BI has different modes, what you could do for now is just take a screenshot of this and you can email them a screenshot, or you can actually download the PDF and export it. You could download the entire dashboard, export it as a PDF, and then once a week you can email it to them. When you don't
Right.
have the biggest Power BI account, that's the easiest way for you. And once you put more money into Power BI, that's when you can actually share this dashboard with multiple people, treat it more like a corporate dashboard. But that gets expensive too, and it doesn't sound like your clients to the point where they want to make that happen.
I think there are trust issues more than the
More than the
financial
finance
issues.
issues. That's
Yeah,
fine.
and right.
I mean, to trust
So
you
I
this
think gradually.
far on this much stuff, it's this is a lot of trust, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Now I'm understanding more and more about that. The trust, like even the one there. Yeah, it's more. They've already put a lot comparing to. It's a risk, but now they are seeing the value.
Right. So in here, you can look at all the different apps that are already made, and I would really be careful to just dive in and make your own dashboards. Um, it's always best if you find something pre-made that's because you know how many designer or how many devs out there are going to have the same problem as you, where they want to have beautiful dashboards inside of
These are
Power
common
BI.
problems.
Very
Common problems.
common, very
Right.
common.
Right.
So let's spend some time. I'll research on my end too because I don't know the answer to this.
Right.
Um,
That's research.
so I'll bring up a browser as well.
So I think then you should share your screen or
No, you
yeah,
do
it
your
will
own
be.
research and I'll do mine,
Okay.
and it might just take a minute or two. I have you still on my screen. So I'm just going on Google and looking for it. I mean, you can look in there in the apps and what they have to offer. But Microsoft is calling these accelerators. So they're essentially saying that we'll create the basic framework for you, but you still have to be a dev or programmer to come in and put this together. So that's what they're calling their template system. They call it accelerators.
Oh.
I would look up more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they expected Azure to get as popular as it did. So that name Azure they put on the beginning of everything. It's rather annoying because, yeah, when you look for Azure, I mean, you're going to find 80 applications.
Yeah.
Sample reports.
Oh yeah, another problem, I might forget it just putting it out here, is that the notifications thing. It sucks when it comes to notifications of your DevOps, as long as I know right now. Maybe there is a solution.
Notifications, like give me an example of what you want to be notified by.
By, for example, someone completed the task, someone sent a message in discussion board or something like that. There are so many tasks, and if I don't get notified, like Skype or Microsoft Teams, it just I have to dig deep, so just to find that.
Well, you know what's cool is, let's fix that one because that one's an easy one for me. And let's come back to this Power BI dashboard.
All right, sure.
Let's open up your. Can we open up your Microsoft Teams, and can we open up, maybe like the Green Ninja channel?
Okay, I'll need to share my screen again.
You already are sharing.
You can see my Microsoft Teams.
Oh, I can just see your. I see what you mean.
So let me share mine again.
So what if? Do we have a Ninja Hive? We do.
We do have a Ninja Hive.
So we would go into the Ninja Hive, and we would create a channel there. Or I don't know where you want to put this. You can put it in GeekSpot. You can put it in Ninja Hive. But regardless, it can't be in a chat room. It has to be on the actual team itself.
Okay.
So where do you want to put it?
Ninja Hive sounds good.
All right, so you're on Ninja Hive. So hit the apps button. Well, actually, before we do that, let's hit the channels button, because I don't want what you're doing to just be on the main channel. How about we add a channel here, either for GeekSpot or...
Let's call it some mean stack.
Right. Upper right, purple button. Yeah, so I would keep this generic because you might be coming in and out of different clients.
Yeah, we'll create. Ninja Hive is basically for education. We can create MERN stack, mean stack, these all channels, and anyone who wants to learn mean technologies, I'll just add them in there. What do you think?
Okay. So then just hit the add button. And the cool thing about these channels is you can keep everything notifying you within the channel itself. So now hit the add tab button. And we're going to look for Azure DevOps. There you go. And you'll want to connect this to your Azure DevOps. I'm hiding your screen. I said I'm hiding your screen so that people can't see what you're typing.
Alright, yeah, that's good because I'm about to open my password manager.
Yeah, you're not live right now. Your audio is, but the screen is hidden.
That's good. Where is
Not like it really
this?
matters. I mean, this stuff's still pretty secure, even if people can't see this.
Yeah, that's great. But on in my password manager, there are a zillion other sites. Okay, you can open the screen again. Come. I understand the whole process is necessary for security, but
Yeah,
sometimes it's annoying. Okay, so here it goes.
yeah,
I click on it, right?
yeah.
I continue.
So essentially, you can make this connection one time per channel. So if you have multiple clients, just put them on multiple channels. And then you can get notified right in MS Teams on a lot of what's happening with DevOps.
It's asking me to select a dashboard. Okay.
Give some time, it's probably loading. So
I know.
that'll bring your dashboard right in here. And then that allows you to, talk to your team, go over, look at their analytics. And there's other integrations you could do as well with DevOps right here in MS Teams. And another way I would do that is with Microsoft Flow. So if we look at Microsoft Flow, I'm going to look that up on my screen.
Let me look at other options too. What other options we have?
So I'm going to give you a link.
Add a Kanban board. Add a dashboard. Let's see. I see.
That's just going to add another tab so that you can see that board directly here. And you can rename them too so they're not so long. But you as the manager, if all you're doing is managing, you more need to see these boards and connections instead of... And then you need to come and talk to the people. You need to chat with them. So ideally, you're sitting here just in MS Teams, looking at their boards, and then you hop over to chat, and you could do all that in one app. You should never have to really log into the DevOps dashboard. Cool?
Cool.
But I gave you a link that more does what you're wanting to do. If you look in our chat.
This is Jamila.
I don't think you've really used Flow yet, right?
No, I did not.
You've kind of shadowed me when I was working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give this some time to load. So what I'd really recommend is to set up a SharePoint website. And then inside SharePoint, I would move all of these well, you could either move it all to your Outlook so that it's emailing you every time something's happening, or you can
That's
have it.
there. No, I'm already receiving emails, but I don't like that solution.
Where do you want it to go to?
Just some push notification, something easy.
Well, you can
Feel
see
like
they have pushes on here. Like, see that very first one. Send a push notification when a work item is assigned. Just because it says work item assigned, that doesn't mean it has to be work item assigned.
because if we can use AI.
So click on the use this template up at the top. Well, you're a member. You just have to sign in here with your Microsoft account. And these are free. After you, for as small as you're using it, it's free. And my vision with the company is I want everybody using these Microsoft Flows because it just automates your whole life. And
Yeah.
it gets rid of all the little tiny annoying things.
Should I choose the right region?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it signed you in to the actual, if you're in your Zanet Data Learning account.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually was on a call with Microsoft support the other day. Lyra's whole account's not working very well. And they had me switch her region from China to the US. And I told them, I said, man, China's not going to like that. They're like, we got to do it though. They're like, we can't figure out why it's not working. They still haven't fixed it yet. So how Flow works, you'll have connectors, and you'll need to connect this to Azure DevOps to give it sign-in authorization there. And it's going to go through that whole authorization process again. And after you have that
Will
authorized,
the managers,
say it again?
will the managers getting the notifications that I'm authorizing this stuff?
No, this is only for your own account. This only gives you access to what they've already given you access to.
Okay.
You're worried about that, huh?
Oh, they are nuts, man. I can't explain it. Okay. I remember doing this. She's shadowing you at that time.
So I actually don't like that first one. You don't want it whenever a work item is assigned, right? Or maybe you do. Maybe you, every time you assign a work item, maybe you want to send a chat message to the team saying, hey man, I just assigned you some stuff. Whatever you're doing that needs to be automated, that's what you need to be using Flow for. So you can get rid of this first one if you don't like when a work item's assigned, and you can change that to something else that happens in Azure DevOps, like when a work item's complete. Do you want it when it's assigned or complete?
I want four things. One, when it's basically I'm assigning, so that's not a problem. So when someone comments in discussion board,
but long term, do you want to? Because I think you can get, I think you can have somebody work underneath of you doing all of this, or do you not think that's possible?
Oh, that's totally possible. That's in the back of my head all the time.
So if you think about them doing it, and it's just notifying you every time they assign something.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That might be nice, and it could just pop up on your phone that, you know, so-and-so assigned 5 tasks, and then you can...
Right.
The assigning the tasks, I think, is the scariest part about wasting money and energy. And right now, when you're in control of that, you can pretty much control the money flow.
Anytime, let's say.
The name of the team who currently owns the work item. Well, it needs to be very precise, assigned to a specific team. Like whatever your team name is over there on Azure DevOps has
Let's
to be
go.
in there.
Yeah.
And I haven't used this particular flow before, so
Yeah, I get it.
I just don't know the variables to say what they are.
How do you create teams? I'm not. Maybe in the project settings.
I would say in the boards. Yeah, it might say in the project settings as well. Are all those members down there in the lower right?
Where?
I think you're onto the right place. Or maybe not.
I don't think so. Where did you see members? They were here somewhere.
They were back on the main overview section. Wherever you were before.
Oh, and oh, okay, on the left side. No, nothing can happen. I've
So down there. Tried. So yeah, there's members, but I thought maybe the members might have a name to them.
I know. No, I remember there is a. I saw it somewhere. I just can't recall it. It's the HTML complete v2 team, but I'm looking for the exact parameter.
Why don't you go into boards and then look at it over there? Like actually look at one of your Kanban boards and then open one up. It might give you the breakdown of who the team is.
Right.
I think it's HTML complete team.
Yeah, I think it's HTML complete v2. It's the team.
Oh, I see it. I mean, I see it in your URL up there. It has board/t/ and then I see the name of it.
So all team boards, you see? Backend team, HTML complete v2 team. So this is the team, but how do I get the exact parameter out of it? I did see it somewhere, I just can't recall it. Let's Google it. Yeah. Where is the flows? Oh yeah.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to look at other Azure DevOps flows that might be useful to you. So you said you have multiple. The name of the team member. Oh, it actually wants the member himself, like one member.
Oh, like for example, if I say Sam. Okay, it needs to be value. So what's okay?
Are you mainly assigning to blank?
Sorry?
Are you mainly
assigning
the
blank?
To blank?
No, these are these are old statistics as well. This is just a test query I ran.
I see.
I'm mainly assigning to Eugene, Sam, and Hassan and Jimmy. Okay. Let me go back to the project settings. Teams. Okay.
Here's another flow that I think you'll like.
Okay. Let's see.
This one says when you do a build. Are you guys doing builds in Azure repos?
Yeah, we are.
So it says when you do a build, And if a build fails, then it notifies you inside MS Teams when it fails. And here's another one. It'll post a message up on MS Teams anytime code is published on Azure DevOps.
I can imagine doing all sort of things with MS Flows.
Yeah, so essentially my point is, if you dive into MS Flow, I think you can automate a lot of what you have going on to make it easier to work with.
See here, yeah. So here are if you look at this, I looked into this before too. So this does notify me on various things, but via email. And that's just not.
Yeah, I understand.
There's not just good flow.
Right.
In fact, I would like to just turn off. I'm getting shitload of emails, so I would like to turn off all of it and just use the MS Flows. So in this parameter, let me Google it now. Assign to Sam.
Oh, it actually loads it dynamically for you.
Oh man.
Why do they have it in a reverse order like that? That's stupid.
Like it should be on the it should be before this, right?
Yeah.
Just a bad UX. Come on, Microsoft.
I don't know why it only gives you access for one person, though. I mean, as a manager, you'd want all of them. You know what they're thinking of? They're thinking to use that when you get assigned stuff, so that it notifies you personally. They're not thinking of it from a manager's
it's good.
perspective.
Like, we can specify bug, epic feature, whatever area, but the product feature or team area to work on the rule to be used. Comparing area, the named sprint, great. The rule is subjective rating, okay, great. So it's very extensive. We can take it to very high levels. Unless like created by team project. This is cool stuff. So text title, link URL, and link label.
So this actually is an app on your phone that you have to download, and that's where they send that push notification to. I mean,
and I can create this and share this with my other devs, for example.
Yes,
and they can download
it. Absolutely, you can make a template. You can give it to everybody, and then they can change that assign to themselves, and then it shows up on their phones when they get assigned new stuff.
And what if I create assigned to this whole thing for each person, for each team member, myself, and I can share that with the others, right?
Yes.
Cool, I think. Yeah, that would be great. It'll just change our lives.
So yeah, there's that, and then I'm looking at the other ones that are in here. You said you're doing something with Excel. You said there's already a data connector for DevOps and Excel.
Oh yeah.
Because I see a flow they have here where they connect DevOps with Excel anyway.
Oh, not this link.
So for example, here's another one that you might like. If you have an assistant that works underneath of you, anytime someone at your HTM team emails you, Like maybe you have a manager that's telling you what to do.
Right.
You can automatically forward that email and post it to MS Teams and create a skeleton task inside DevOps just when they email you. So if you have an
And
assistant
yeah,
that's doing that for you, then you can kind of kickstart it off for them.
yeah, I plan on hiring one after I'm an expert on this. Maybe in a
So
month or two.
Azure DevOps add-in for Excel for users without Visual Studios installed.
Similar stuff. Yeah, there are many
What does it do
plugins to
though?
do.
What's the purpose of it?
It's like I can create Excel. For example, I can assign tasks. I can set the priority. I can add description, and it just imports, exports from it. It communicates with the DevOps directly.
Gotcha. Well, Visual Studio is very intense as well, and you can do all of the assigning right inside of Visual Studio. You don't have to log into that Azure DevOps dashboard, and it actually gives you Gantt charts as well inside Visual Studio. And you have a full Visual Studio license.
Yeah, I do have a full license.
And I mean, it's intense, but if you're working on a big project like that client, um, I actually like you to be, keeping Visual Studio as your dashboard.
I think yeah, that's better. Hmm. Okay, I'll do that. But I also want to do this push notifications thing with all of the devs with the MS flows. So where is that? This is
Because all Azure DevOps is, they essentially took the most common features of Visual Studio and they put up onto the internet. They put it into a VM and they're giving people access to it. It by no means has all the capabilities of Visual Studio.
okay. So what do you suggest link label here?
What do I suggest? What?
The link label. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. You know what I do? I just build these things and save them, and I see how ugly it is, and I go back and
Oh,
I look at it later to see what I want to fix.
trial and error.
Yeah. So it's saved. It should work. So you have to download an app on your phone called the Microsoft Flow app,
Oh, I have a
and
shitty phone.
you'll see this on your phone now.
Okay, I'm downloading the app.
So yeah, the cool thing about I'm sending you some very ugly photos. But the cool thing about Visual Studio, the full version of it, is it has Gantt chart built into it. It has the Kanban boards for your staff built into it. It connects over with Power BI. I mean, they make huge video games with this. The Xbox Studios uses it. They're doing huge billion-dollar projects with hundreds of devs. It's really state-of-the-art.
Microsoft Flow, business workflows, right?
I don't know the exact name for it.
Business,
Make sure it's coming from Microsoft.
right? Yeah, I'm sending from Microsoft. People think I'm biased when I suggest Microsoft because almost everything when they say, "Oh, we have this problem," I say Microsoft, and
People think the same
and
for
I'm
me,
saying,
and you used to be a huge Mac fan, and
"Oh yeah, I was too." And
I never was a Windows boy or Mac boy, whatever. Um,
right.
but right now, today, Microsoft does have their programs together pretty well.
Yeah, they've
But
gotten this
but
shit
people
together.
think that we're just the fanboys that have been around forever promoting this stuff, which we
Yeah, like
aren't. I
I
mean,
was never
I was
Microsoft.
PHP for a long time. I was Linux, PHP. Screw the corporations.
Right.
But all the problems we had with Padadida, um, I wouldn't even say there were problems. They're just normal for devs. If I wanted to be a full-time dev building my own backend system, my Padadida platform, that was perfect. I just had to constantly have devs, constantly do updates, and Microsoft's doing a pretty good job of that. They're handling all the backend for us so we can focus on the front really well.
Right. I'm uninstalling a few apps to install Microsoft Flow.
Okay, so overall, you're at a position where it sounds like your DevOps is running really well and you're happy with it. You just want to
Yeah.
you just want to be lazier.
Oh yeah, I want to be way more lazy.
Okay, so that's cool. And everything that you're doing in your boards, how you've itemized everything, all of that makes sense to
Right.
you. None of it's breaking, and your team is understanding it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone is on. I think there's the right flow.
Was this already set up before, or did you guys create this from scratch?
No, we did. I did create it. But I did discuss with the Eugene and created a mind map on paper,
Okay.
and then we did this.
And are they happy with how it's going?
Yeah, they're very happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this looks
Yeah,
very enterprise. I saw that you tagged all of your work items very well.
right.
You tagged stuff as bugs, tagged stuff as features. You have it in
It
different
took.
branches.
I Yeah, I did make some mistakes in the beginning, but I got to know what to do,
So
what
you
to
understand the
use.
concept of, what a task, feature, bug, all of that
Yeah,
stuff
I
is.
I I read I read the documentation on it.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
so if you logged
The funny thing is, I think it's yeah, sorry. It's the funny thing is that there is not so much information on it. Like there is so much information on DevOps generally, but on boards, on creating widgets, on like I tried Googling and finding some um, examples or any suggestions that people are using to create nice dashboards, but there weren't any.
Yeah, well, it's pretty new to the industry.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it's
kind of at the same stage you are right now. They're just trying to get it to work.
true. Yeah, I was listening to some Microsoft lectures, and they were like, yeah, it's very, actually, it's amazing. Like, there are thousands of hours of lectures available on DevOps, and it's relatively very new, the new interface and the whole philosophy.
Yeah, and I mean, Microsoft's at the point right now, they don't have amazing certifications for this. They don't have people with 5, 10 years experience doing this that are out in the field. They had just had, they're doing a lot of seminars just telling people, please go and use it. That's it. They're like, just,
Yeah.
go, they just are excited saying it's available. So you're pretty ahead of the curve by diving in this early.
Right. More half of the people they just call it VSTS till now. You guys
Right.
using.
But I'm sure their team can see it's quite different than the capabilities of the old VSTS.
Oh, I never used VSTS, so.
But the
What?
the Australian team probably can see that it's has
Yeah.
different capabilities. It's just streamlined a lot better. I'm surprised that they're not using the test plans or using CI/CD.
Yeah, the this just slows down the process.
Well, are you utilizing artifacts any? Do you know what those are yet?
No, no, I'm not into them yet.
You might like
I
the
did read.
artifacts. That's not really for them to decide. That's for you as the mid manager with your
Oh,
team of 10. Um,
okay.
it allows you to package up the entire repo per se, and like okay, it puts your whole stack together. That's a good way to say it. So your whole mean stack, it just gets the exact same mean stack for every single developer on their computer, and then you can require them to download. I don't know why they're calling it an artifact. I'd call it a stack. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so it means yeah, that makes sense. So we just set the dev environment,
Yeah,
and
you
then
come in
everyone is
here, you make the stack, and then they go to the artifacts and they download the stack and they integrate that stack into their system. And then if you ever change the stack, everybody gets to change at the same time.
okay. For example, everyone is using right now Angular 6 and certain libraries with it. So I can create stacks right here, and then everyone is on the same stack. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And because when they run stuff, especially if they're running stuff through the pipeline, you can run that pipeline through the artifact. So they can have the local stack, then they can have the pipeline stack, and they can all be named the same thing. So this artifact just keeps track of what that name is, and you can actually have multiple stacks too. You can have, like you said, Angular 6, but maybe you want to try out Angular 7 when that becomes an option. And
Right.
but you don't want to completely shift. You just want to create one environment, and then once it works, you want to push everybody over to that new environment automatically, so you can actually.
Okay. Okay.
So I
I'm
think
a
that's something that changes your workflow quite a bit as well and streamlines for you.
right. Minimize my screen. I have to open three passwords. Sign in. Is it?
I can only see Azure DevOps.
Oh no, yeah, just close it. We are still live streaming, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I kicked it off.
Okay.
You're hidden.
Uh,
I mean, I can see you, but the world can't.
all right, yeah, that's fine.
So the artifacts make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll study more about it too. Okay. You can still see me?
Yeah.
Percentage.
Yeah, we just got approved with DAO management. I spoke with Dr. McAleese yesterday,
Oh
and
yeah, you sent some message I didn't read yet about Dr. Mapley.
um, we got another partnership with a neuroscientist. I don't know what they're called. They don't like calling themselves neuroscientists, and
Why? It sounds cool.
I know it sounds cool. They always correct me. I think they're so worried that they're going to be called the wrong thing in the industry. They're like, I'm not a neuroscientist. That doesn't exist. I am called a molecular biologist of human anatomy. I'm like, whatever, dude. You study the brain. You're a neuroscientist.
So like they could it's like maybe
They're
it's like we
intrigued by
devs
me.
don't
They're
right.
intrigued because most of them have been doing the same thing for 20, 30 years. They're in labs, they're doing research, and they're very quiet personalities. They're not loud and boisterous and
Oh,
aggressive.
right.
And I'm going in and showing them some contracts and proposals, and I'm like, look, man, we can get 8 million here for this contract. We can get one over here. So anyway, they're on board for it. They're like, hey, if you put it together, we'll make it happen. We'll do all the lab research and all that. So we've been doing a lot of oh, and they were telling me that they really like Bill Nye. They really like the Planetary Society, and I was telling them that you like that too. So
Right. Okay.
go
I
ahead.
installed flows. I can see the push notification. Now I will assign a task to
I,
Sam and see if I get a
why do I
notification.
just see your password up on my screen? How about
Why
you?
you see that?
How about you kick that off so
Oh,
I can bring your screen back up?
oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's okay.
I can
Oh,
open it back up.
okay. Yeah, yeah, you can.
All right.
Okay.
Now people can see.
Let's create. I'll create a Sam. I'll assign some task to. Sorry. Let's go to the B. OHS data. I'll assign this to.
You have to have that app. Make sure the app has notifications turned on for it as well.
Yeah, it has. I did check. So we'll assign it to Sam and save it. Now I should get a notification on my phone.
That wasn't a new task though, was it?
No. Should I create a new one?
I don't know if just I don't know if just moving someone over to an existing task is the same as maybe it
Okay,
is. I don't know.
let's see. So how can we make sure it runs?
You can actually go into your Flow dashboard. So we can go back to Flow.
Okay.
Man, you got a lot of tabs. And then you can hit
Oh,
the My Flows
okay.
on the far left.
I can see my flows here in the on the app
You're
too.
gonna lose.
Okay, let's
Did
save
you
it.
hit the save in the
I can.
upper saving? Yeah, I think you're saved. You can also hit the flow check. You can hit the test button in the upper right. I would hit the test button too to, and that normally doesn't.
I'll perform the trigger action using data from previous runs.
Well, you haven't ran it before. Cancel that and let's just go back to the main screen.
Okay, my flows. Okay.
Yeah, and then click on that thing. Okay, and it says it ran down there, and it took 1 second to run, and you did it 45 seconds ago, and it succeeded.
Yeah. Run history. Yeah, it shows me here, and yeah, I did. Let's do another.
Did it not show up on your phone?
It did say something, iFarm thing. Let me do another. Mhm. Okay. Let's see.
How much studying you do on all this software?
Sorry?
How much studying did you have to do on all this software? Was it a very large
To do,
education process?
no, no, not really. The UI was better than expected.
Yeah, they did a good job on the UI. I'm impressed with it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Okay, now I'm not getting notifications. I do see it in run history on my phone. Maybe it's on my mobile.
Well, on your phone too, you have to enable notifications from each
Yeah,
app.
that's what I'm looking for. I have a very old, shitty phone. I don't know. Notifications,
So how
notifications.
this MS Flows works, um, every single person in Dow Learning has access to their own MS Flow area. And the whole idea is,
Oh,
this is how
I
I
have it. I
say it
have
again.
do not disturb mode on. That's why.
Well, well, Zane. I mean, it is, no, it's 4, 5 p.m., almost 6 p.m. You can be disturbed
No,
at 6 p.m.
oh no, I want to kind of like you say that it's a useless thing. Like I want to turn it off and throw it in the dustbin or something. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
tired of.
I don't own one of those things.
Yeah,
They're like a nagging girlfriend. Why have one?
it's just a useless thing.
If I want to know something, I'm gonna look it up myself. I don't need something dinging at me all the time.
Okay, I now I did is I have set those notifications as priority. even on the do not disturb mode. It will show me. Okay. Let's hope everything goes.
I wish there was more videos out there of people doing stuff like this, of just, you know, I don't know what you want
Oh,
to call it, QA.
yeah. It's more than QA, I think.
Strategy, I don't know. It's a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But people don't realize to get things running really nice and have a good life and all that, you got to do all these small things.
Okay. I should get the notification now.
So do you got it or not?
No.
Can you go back to the flow?
Yeah.
And can you just refresh that to see if it actually ran? Well, not that refresh button.
There should be. Oh. It must have ran. It should. Yeah. No. No, I didn't. Did I assign it? Yeah, I did.
Well, go back and hit the actual refresh button on that. Click on all runs in the lower right. That might show you. Yeah, so it's there.
It's running, but I'm not receiving. And I can see it on my phone. If I click on runs, I can see three runs. Oh, no, I got the notification. I told you it's my shitty phone.
You're killing
It's my shitty phone. Okay, I'll test it on one of the devs' phone.
Well, in order to test it, I wouldn't do that. Why don't you save it as a template?
Okay.
And actually set the dev up himself to where, you know, every time he's, you know, do it legit.
Yeah. Okay,
because the only way it works that way is if you give him access to your Zanet.learning account. You don't want to do that.
No, I'll add. He's on the DevOps too, so he'll add his own Microsoft ID. So, I will need to share the template.
Yeah, I mean that's such an easy template. I guess you don't really have to make a template for it.
Because he already has a Thou Learning account.
Yeah, so he just goes to flow.microsoft.com and he can find this same send a push notification.
You can
share it too. Well, that's going to give him access to yours. That's not what you want to do. You want to turn it into a template, but you don't need to make it a template since it already is a template. You're making it more complex than it is.
Okay. Send a movement work time is in a sign owner spreading, another owner allows to update and delete this flow. Okay, that sounds fine.
No, it's not fine.
Don't you think? It's not fine?
No, you're making him an owner on your account. No.
On this specific flow.
Right. What you don't want to do. So send a copy up at the top. That's an option. So go back in. No, not the share. You're still trying to share that, man.
Okay.
So at the top it has send a copy. Also down at the bottom it has original template.
Okay, I think I should mute it. We are still live streaming, right?
Yeah. You don't have to mute it.
I'll mute for. Okay, it's fine. Good.
So flow contains one or more email. Remove any personal content from the flow before sending a copy. So it's warning you. It's saying you have Sam's email in there, and it's recommending that you remove that before you give it to somebody else.
Okay, we'll do that. Oh, no, not here. It's not loud?
No, I mean I can hear it, but no. So if you go to the
Okay,
edit
no.
button, click edit in the upper right. See if that handles it for you. Well, at the top is where you have that email saved in there. And it's telling you that, you should really take that out before you share it.
Can it be me?
Yeah, you're at the bottom of
Like
the
by
list.
me, I
Oh, you
no,
mean
I
self.
yeah, self.
Enter custom value. When a work item is assigned to, well, that's going to only have their Dow Learning emails. That's not going to have all these other emails since you're not actually on a Dow Learning Azure repo, if that makes sense. So that's not going to work for them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'll just save it like this if it allows me to
I don't think it
save.
will.
Assign to is required, so we'll put his email address back.
He might get it.
So now, okay, let's test it at least. Send a copy. I'll open Teams or Soma. What's his email address? What is it? Flow has been modded after a successful run. Flow contains one or meal. Okay, I don't care. Oh, no, it doesn't let me send.
I think it doesn't let you because it says it's been modified since it was last successfully run. Because it didn't give you
Okay,
this harsh warning before, it just gave you a soft warning. So why don't you do a run first? You do realize it's also emailing him every time you do this.
so, sorry Sam, आपको बहुत ज़्यादा emails आ रही होंगी. Yeah, he's saying he's getting a lot of emails. Oh, no, not this one. Some other task.
Why not the same one you're on? Why do we gotta get a
No.
new one?
So, because just to avoid any conflict. Sorry, मैं अपनी life आसान करने के लिए कुछ कर रहा हूँ. Okay, we ran it. Now let's try it. Okay, yeah. Titles and add in. Okay, so
You can send it to an entire group as well.
I'll just send to some of them.
Pretty cool how it's connected to the Teams, huh?
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me try this with Sam. Sam, मुझे अभी 5 मिनट चाहिए. मसला तो नहीं. अच्छा, जो मेरा डाउ लर्निंग वाला अकाउंट है ना, उससे office.com पे जाके साइन इन हो, आउटलुक करो और ईमेल चेक करो, और अपने मोबाइल पे ऐप डाउनलोड करो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फ्लो. हाँ, और लेकिन डाउ लर्निंग वाला. क्या जो तुमने साइन है तो एक नहीं नहीं आपने और ऑफिस और फॉर्म पे जाके साइन नहीं ऑफिस और फॉर्म give us a minute.
Yeah, no problem. I'm prepping some other stuff for you anyway.
Okay. Doing hub 5 p.m. Microsoft no. अभी आपको कोई नोटिफिकेशन पता नहीं चलता ना
they should. Wait, an email? No. An email for what?
For the
Signing up on Flow? You're saying that you think they should get an email when they first sign up on MS Flow?
Yeah, no, they are already signed up on the learning platform and they are on flows, but they can't see the copy that I shared.
Oh, well, maybe not. Did he log into flow.microsoft.com?
Yeah, he did.
And there's an area in there for flows that are shared with you.
It's not shared with. Oh, okay. 1 second.
Let me log into mine. My flows,
Give me a
team
flap there.
flows.
और अपने मोबाइल में डाउनलोड करो ऐप माइक्रोसॉफ्ट फ्लो. कर दो ये मुझे दो अपने मोबाइल पे डाउनलोड करो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट. मेरे स्मार्टफोन नहीं. स्मार्टफोन टूट गया. अच्छा. अच्छा 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 ठीक.
Y'all are speaking gibberish over there. Yeah, I would assume actually that it goes to his email because I don't see a shared area.
But he didn't get any email. That's the problem. Let me know. I shared.
Did you check his spam folder? I mean, I wouldn't think it's going to his spam, but
let's see. Let me see. Oh, he's gotten the email.
y'all are killing me.
Yeah.
You guys need to learn how to use computers over there.
Okay, get started.
Sent you a few videos to look at too. I looked further into the Azure dashboards. It looks like they're going to be sufficient instead of using Power BI for the majority of what you want to achieve. But they can't be treated like a template like the Power BI boards can, so that you can use them with multiple clients. What are you humming about?
Okay, so the thing is that they have, the managers have shared the repo on a different Microsoft ID. So I need to sign in with that ID.
For their Azure connection, just to authorize them on Azure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to be doing this and sending it to a lot of people, you can actually export that flow as a zip file and everybody can import it. But if you're running a big team, there's actually business flows you can run as well.
So by large teams.
Well, even, your size team, you have my flows, but you also have team flows.
team flows.
Yeah, if you click on the My Flows button, you have your own. But you also have a Team Flows button. You have a Business Process Flow. So if you want everybody to have access to the exact same flow, but these are not the exact same flows. You're adding an extra variable in there that has their own name, and that changes. So that does become a custom flow. And if you can't make their name a variable, then it just doesn't work
there
out.
must be a way to
But
create a
also,
variable.
it's also doing a custom connection just to their exact phone itself. So in that scenario, it pretty much is a personalized flow. All of this just because you guys are too lazy to check their email and realize they got a task assigned to them.
Yeah, basically. And it's cool too, you know.
Yeah, just knowing that it's easy to make a custom app for your phone.
Yeah. And I can do much more once they all have these flows installed on their smartphones.
Right. Poor guys. They're going to get notifications yelling at them for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Edit, say HTML theme. Okay. Edit.
ये 28 कैरेक्टर्स में मेरे पास
Signed to Jamal.
monitoring so I can
Okay, save. सामा आपको मोबाइल देगा प्रोजेक्ट लिए इसके ऊपर फ्लो के ऊपर मैं लगा लो नहीं अब आप दूसरा अकाउंट आपकी होगी टास्क जाने लगे समझ गए सीने में एक करेक्टर टाइप करता हूँ 2 हो जाते हैं
ये चार्जिंग पे लगा होता है उसके साथ में मसला होता है
विदाउट लर्निंग वाले अकाउंट के पासवर्ड याद है
इसका भी याद था एकदम डाउनलोडिंग वाला तो वही जीमेल वाला अभी मुझसे पासवर्ड मांगा था मैं डाउनलोडिंग ये कुछ पासवर्ड में एटीएम ट्रायल करता हूँ लगा
आपको भी मोबाइल मेरे जैसे चलो इसको बात नहीं करेंगे क्लोज करके बात हाँ और ये भी चाहिए अच्छा हमने कॉल करनी है तो मंडे को मुलाकात होती है हाँ क्या ओह देन हाँ मैं ठीक है Alright, okay. Okay, चलो मैं लेकर okay. Alright. It seems like it works. The guys left.
Okay, so anything else?
I think I have to play a lot more with Microsoft Flows and see whatever I can do.
Yeah, so there's the flows there. I believe the dashboards are going to give you a lot of oomph to share with your client too. So I sent you 3 links that discuss how to put those together. It looks like you already put one teeny tiny piece together on your dashboard. Am I accurate on that?
I did watch. Yeah, I did put one widget. I did watch this third link. I watched that video before.
So I put that third link for you just on the time span of exactly when she talks about the dashboard portion.
Oh.
But all of those are talking about how to utilize dashboards.
It's amazing that I have access to these powerful tools, and not only that I am using them, like even a small percentage of it, but it's a big thing to only know about it because half of the world doesn't know about it.
Yeah, I'd say a lot more than half. I'd say 90% don't really understand.
Oh yeah, right.
And then the guys that do understand, they just think, oh, it's so expensive. I can never afford to use something like that.
Every dev I talk, every dev replies me the same thing. Oh, Microsoft is very expensive. I'm like, no, it's not.
When you're a small team, I mean, that they give you 10 repos on here completely free. And if your repos are public, it's always free. So.
And even like how much Google is charging $5 per account, I believe, right?
Right.
Or $10. So
I think it's
and Mike.
Yeah.
And how much is Microsoft charging?
Well, Slack is charging too. Most people are paying for Slack. It's $7 for Slack, and you can get Microsoft for $5. All of the features that we're using in MS Teams, SharePoint, all of that, it's only $5. It's cheaper than Slack.
It's cheaper than Slack, and it has Skype Business built in. I can't imagine a cheaper solution.
So do you want to put together one of these dashboards?
Yeah.
Come on, Zane, let's do it.
Yeah, one second. Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's just do it really quick so that you have a complete dashboard. Let's just
All right.
put a bunch of crap in there.
Right.
Let's do it in
Oh.
Azure, not Power BI.
In a year? Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Okay, we'll need to put queries.
No, you shouldn't need to. They're already made, aren't they?
There is only one
They
query I
should be
made.
they should have pre-populated ones.
No, they don't. That's the big problem.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. If you go to queries, here are all queries, okay?
Oh, go to your dashboard.
I created this one dashboard.
Yeah, and then just hit the plus button to add some more crap to it. Is there any
Okay.
other options?
Oh yeah, there is. So I will
So hit that
edit
edit button.
it. Okay, I can
And then-
add widget.
Yeah, the widgets. So that's what I mean. Just let's add this crap in.
Assigned to me. Okay.
Nah, you don't need that
Ah.
one. You're not getting
No,
crap
I
assigned
need-
to you. Or are
No,
you?
no, not yet. But I need this for others dev assigned to me, so
Shows-
all the devs can see it.
What about the build history? Are you guys doing builds on here?
No, not here. Locally.
A burn down of your bug burn down? Do you guys have? Yeah, that would probably be good because you probably have like 80 bugs, and as they get
Right.
built, so yeah, let's add that one in.
It's burned down. Displays burned down across
Just
multiple.
add it, dude. Man, you
Oh,
think too
okay.
much. You need to work like
Okay.
you're a drunk man.
Okay.
Yeah, just add that crap.
Sure.
Learn visually.
Uh,
After it's on there, you're like,
yeah.
oh, that's what that crap does. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's
That's
like
how
WordPress
we learn.
plugins. You just add 80 WordPress plugins. Oh, okay, I don't need those 30.
Okay, chart for work item. Display number of recent changes in code history. Yeah,
we
that would be
Gotta
cool.
configure this crap.
Oh yeah.
That's annoying.
That's okay. Burn down. It will probably ask me to put some query in. I believe so. Let's see.
I should just know. Go to my boards. It should have a simple
Yeah.
mode.
Okay. Burn down a Teams HTML complete v2. Okay, backlog items. I'll put in. Okay, backlog. That's the thing. That's another thing. There are a few things. So you see backlog items, epics, features, and backlog items, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see tasks and bugs here. Because I'm not creating a lot of features or backlog items and epics. I'm creating a lot of tasks. I create maybe one feature in 2-3 days. If something, I usually try to keep the same features, epics, and backlog items. Does that make sense?
I'm mainly hearing your tone. What I'm hearing you say is blah, blah, blah. I'm not working in the system. I'm creating my own way of doing it. And I don't like that. I'd rather you do it how they do it.
Yeah,
So-
there is no proper guide here. I'm trying to
Okay,
follow
so
it.
epics. Let's bring that list back up again.
Okay.
Let's just, between me and you, think of it this way, regardless of what you read online. Let's think of your epics as stuff that takes you a year to get complete. Let's think of your features as things that take 3 months to get complete.
Right.
So you need to categorize things that in that fashion. A task goes inside of a feature. A feature does not go inside of a task.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Epics are 1 year thing, features are maybe 3 months thing, and backlog items is maybe 2 weeks thing, and then the tasks and bugs are like 1 hour, 2 hours, or 8 hours.
Okay,
things.
so what's the issue?
I can't select tasks and bugs from here to show it down here.
Yeah, with that checkbox that said include bugs. So
No,
click include bugs on the backlog items. So yeah, you should be good on that. And yeah, you can also change that to where
Oh, sorry, I was complaining.
Okay, so burn down on the count of work items, starting day. Why don't we start it backwards from today? Just
Yeah.
so you can show some progress you had before.
20th, okay. Iterations. I don't have any iterations.
Try changing the start date.
And the end date. Okay, that's not. Oh,
Show completed work. Plot remaining work using work type color. That didn't change anything, did it?
no.
Completed
Well,
75%.
right.
Does that look accurate to you?
It looks, yeah.
Sweet. See? Look, that didn't take long. We don't need to read documentation. Then the burn up, that's going to show how many things you're adding that's... Well, you can really make it... You can make it whatever you want it to look like. But it's really designed to show if you're overwhelming your staff or not.
Right. Task. Count. Date.
You can... Can you not make the end date like 6 months from now? That way you don't have to constantly come back here and change this.
HTM team will be excited to see all of it.
Oh, absolutely. So what I was saying I don't like about this is you can't all this work you're doing right now, you can't save as a template. Just Azure DevOps isn't built like that. At least I don't think you can save this dashboard as a template.
I agree, I don't think so.
I don't know. So for now, let's keep it this way, but long term, for us to be amazing solution architects, we should be moving this over to Power BI in the future, where we can duplicate it to multiple clients. There's still always going to be customizations we have to do. But the cool thing about Power BI is we can live stream this on a website, embed it onto a link, and they don't even have to have a Power BI account. They don't have to log into our system. They can just go on DAO management and see the dashboard. So that's pretty cool. And you can't do that. You can't do that with this. They have to specifically log in here to see it. But you can see how quickly we can just make this dashboard. Let's finish the other ones. I feel like if I get off the phone here, these are going to sit here empty.
No, I'm gonna share them. HTML complaint to repository. Okay. Master, let's not use master. Let's say develop. Good. Good. Okay, it's basically the same thing, but let's say optimization. Okay.
That looks confusing.
Sorry?
That looks
No, I'm getting a
confusing.
hold of. I
You don't have test plans. You guys aren't using the test plans right now, right?
No, we are not. No, we are not. Chart for work items. Query. Okay, these are queries that I can run. Okay, I've already had. That's already. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So
Yeah,
you don't suggest that
this is a lot better
that
than.
I right.
I mean, you want to just think of MVP 1. You still try to make things too
Right.
perfect, and look, that took us 3 minutes to. You got a dashboard now.
Right.
So I don't suggest you do what?
I'm saying that you don't suggest that I use Power BI right now.
Oh, I absolutely suggest it. But I suggest you need to make this one perfect. Because think of how cheap teams are. These people are cheap. Just every client, they're cheap, man. So if you get them using Azure DevOps, that's very hard. It's like dragging a donkey through the mountains. So to get them to use DevOps and to log into Power BI, now their psychology is going to be like, oh my gosh, another piece of software. So it's more of a psychological battle than it is an intellectual battle or anything else. And the thing I like about this is the dashboard is already built in here. There's very easy widgets to just click on. It's very dummy friendly that you can assign this task to anybody on your team, and I think they'll be able to do it very quickly. Power BI, on the other hand, is much more sophisticated. You can drill down and make things much more sophisticated over there. So I'd rather you do both. This one's for babies, Power BI is for professionals.
Make sense?
Okay, so you have this. The other thing I would
Yeah.
The other thing I'd recommend is still the Visual Studio. Maybe not today,
Right.
but
No,
I
I
would
will
put
definitely
that in
look
your
into
path
it.
line somewhere. I don't know if I gave you a video. I didn't send you any videos that discuss Visual Studio.
No, but I did see a few previously. I did look, but now I'm thinking, yeah, it's important to use Visual Studio.
Well, look it up from a manager's perspective. Look up Visual Studio for project managers, and then I think you'll get excited when you see it that way.
Right, makes sense.
Board repos, pipelines. Yeah, I would still study the artifacts. It's going to be an issue in the future. And then I personally am working on the DAO management consultant contracts so that we can streamline all of this for all of our other clients. And
Yeah, once I'm able to automate all the work I'm doing for HTM, and I think we can start taking over more clients because I can automate a lot of stuff that they are assigning me. I can hire assistant, I can use MS Flows, I can use DevOps, and all of these tools to automate. Like we discussed that 80% of the work can be automated and done and can be done via delegation, and the rest of the 20% will be done by me. And if I'm able to create that ratio and maintain that ratio, I can take on more clients.
yeah, and I like how this is set up to where you can just go to your master DevOps board and you can see all your clients right there inside of it.
Right.
It's not
Yeah,
like
that's why I did
it's
it.
not like you're locked in.
Yeah, yeah, I can create. I can have multiple organizations here.
Right. Well, I should have that ready within a month. And we already have quite a few clients. I don't know if you read the convo between me and Sam about a few people, but if
No,
you have
not
if you have the time, we have clients that are begging for this service. And I send them to Sam, but really you would be more opted to talk to them.
okay. They need similar services.
You didn't look at our talk at all in Down Media Chat?
No, I did not. I'll look into it.
You're
Let's
horrible,
thank you
dude.
very much.
Horrible.
Oh no, I do follow. It's like I read after 2 days. I'll follow all the way up back. Spend an hour, read all the chat.
Well, essentially, we have some guys. Okay, so we just got, and you need to be able to say this whenever, you should sit down with Sam for probably an hour or two and talk to him about the video game client that we just worked with, that we helped get $5 million in funding. And you should sit down, talk to him, and see the type of consultation that we offered them. And it's very easy for you to do that. I did all the consulting, but you could have done it. And we have a lot of clients coming to us, and they want to repeat that. They're saying like, well, I don't have very much money, but I do have some money. Like, I can hire a consultant. I need somebody to help put a business plan together, put a solution architecture together. What else did they want? Oh, they want a pitch deck put together, and then they want to go out there and present that to some investors. And then they're asking me like, how do we pay you? Do we bring you on as an interim CEO to help us make this? Do we partner with you? Do we contract you out? All of that. And I would rather that they go to you. So I'd rather you be the response and you say, hey, I'm a solution architecture. I do this all the time. And then we have some very clear boundaries around the different milestones that you're going to deliver back to them. And, the pitch decks would be completely handled by Sam. We would just contract him for all of that. But before they're funded, when they only have $100,000, $300,000, whatever, I think that's a perfect client for you to dive in really deep with and help them get to that next level. I think just you and Sam alone can very easily, you be the solution architect on the project and help them to put the business plan together, and he builds the pitch deck. And then you two together help them get funding. And then after they get funding, that's maybe when I get involved on the project, if at all. They might be happy with you guys and be like, yeah, screw Matt. Let's just work with you two. But I'm happy with that. That's awesome. That's utilizing our team, utilizing our skills. And I just want to be there to help put the fires out if they're created.
Right. Yeah. Even like there was after this, they have after the HTM have hired me, and now they are trusting me a lot more. Like they created a management group, and there are only key people in there, including me. So it is nice they're trusting me more, and I think I can do much bigger projects. And I will get once this goes in flow and they hire 50 people over here, then I think it will be something big, right?
Right. Well, we really need to make a mind map for them. I thought you were going to make a mind map like 2 weeks ago and present back to them some stuff. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I recommended that a few weeks ago.
I'm sure the
But you did
moment
it on
I talk
paper?
about, I did on this flow, I discussed the flow of the work and all of it on paper. But anything when I talk about the future, they're not into it. Like I'm trying my best that they talk about the future. They want to talk about now.
Well, that's why I like mind maps. The mind maps speak the future for you. You don't want it to come from you, and you don't want them to be attached to it as a person. You want to have that vision board laid out, your entire solution architecture laid out, and then point at the paper and say, you guys look at the paper, make sure that we're both on the right page. And this is my year-long plan of what I'm going to put together. If you want anything changed, let's discuss it through the paperwork. And then every time you come back and meet, you might make little tiny changes on that paperwork. And I think the paperwork should always be a Visio board.
I agree, and I think they'll only for them to see the Visio board, it'll take a month or two for them to see. Oh, okay, we'll see your Visio board. Like literally, this is the mindset I'm telling you. I'm sure
they just don't want to see it. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they're like annoyed by when I say something or share something which talks about tomorrow.
Well, when they have
Does that
clients
make
that they
sense?
need, I guess when they have clients that they need to see stuff out the door ASAP.
Yeah, that's the problem because they are in trouble. They are in trouble.
You're
That's why
right.
they are hiring
That
more
kind of
and more
makes
devs.
sense, but if you tell them like, listen, every company is in trouble. If you're making money and you have clients, then yeah, you're in trouble. It's my job to mitigate those problems today and long term. I have today handled. Say, today's not a problem. We got these 8 guys here, they're doing great, but let's also let's fix the problems tomorrow too. We need to scale up for
Right,
30 developers. And the only way I can scale up for 30
right,
developers, like I need access to these type of enterprise level management tools.
right. For example, I'll give an example. I told them about 5 months plan, and I was creating and just share like the immediate response was, "How do you know what we are going to do after 5 months?" Does that make
Well,
sense?
yeah, that's weird. I mean, it just sounds small. Preparation meets
Yeah.
opportunity. You have to opportunity meets preparation, whatever that saying is. You have
Yeah.
to prepare first, and if they've been in business this long, they should just know all these DevOps issues are going
Oh,
to.
it's again. I think it's the trust issue.
Okay.
But
Um,
I understand your point. I'll create Visio board, and I think they're trusting me more and more. They have added me to the manager group, so I think now is the time for me to create Visio board. Or if not now, I'll create it. But if I'll try to share it if they're not open to it. But I'm sure they'll be open to it for after a month.
well, how about we also do this? I'm going to be putting like a 30-page proposal together showing all the
Okay.
consulting and solution architecture services that we offer. Um, I've already given you access to the proposal management. We have a whole proposal management hive, and there's a section in there for business. So I'm going in, it's proposal management. We have a channel in there, and the channel's for business. And we have files in there just for business proposal management. If you can take screenshots that you're allowed to put in the proposal of what you're doing, then that will help me get you the clients that align with your kind of work. Like, you have all of those tasks and features and epics. If we can get a picture of that and I can put that into the proposal, that'll help. One of these dashboards that you make, if I can get a picture of your dashboard, put that into the proposal, that'll help. Now, I can Photoshop it and butcher it a little bit so it gets rid of client names or whatever.
Right. Are we still live streaming?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I do have a few things to discuss, but that's try. So we'll discuss that later. I'll show you.
Okay, so
Man, I'm working with international companies now, so I
yeah.
gotta be careful.
Okay, so I'm going into proposal management. I'm going into the business. I'm making a new folder in here. I'm calling it assets. So if you can help me fill that asset folder up with just random crap that you think might help.
First, because I didn't send you the photos yet. Take the photos of the devs working, the environment, and then the dashboard and and all of it, and maybe also in a couple months I can get a review from them too that we can put in.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great. And if you have any of those reviews from the past clients, that would help. And
Right.
just anything that you have. I mean, I'm going to start working on the copy for that. Our website looks great, but we don't have the proposal put together that complements the website. And that's my
Right.
next step with this.
Right.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
I'll stop the live stream. Do you want to talk about
Sure.
anything
Sure.
else
I
now?
think we are. Yeah. Sure.
You're breaking up.
Okay, yeah, I said that stop the live stream and let's talk about a few private
All
things.
right. So